He was the calm voice on one of CPD's darkest days. The night Officer Ella French was murdered, her partner wounded.
OEMC dispatcher Keith Thornton was applauded for his decisive action over the radio that night. In his first TV interview, he tells CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey that night changed everything.
All right, 1600 hours on the clock, the 7th of August, 2021. This is KVA 636, number 6 radio, 78. Good afternoon, your third watch crew.
We're like, man, it's time to go out to eat after work, just relax, you know. That didn't happen. I heard someone out there running.
I got an officer down, 10-1, 10-1, 6-3 in Bell. Officer down, shots fired at the police. Officer down.
10-1.
Officer shot, SWAT, do not hit!
Officer needs help.
My heart's pumping, my eyes are dilated, I'm pacing the floor, and I just have to do whatever I could from behind those screens.
Okay, listen to me. Take that damn vest off right now and start compressions. Start breathing. Whatever we gotta do, start it now.
Listen, that's dispatcher Keith Thornton. And this was his worst day on the job. Officer Ella French and Officer Carlos Yanez were his 10-1s. Both had been shot in the face.
And units that are at UFC Hospital, have those doors open for me. Have them open, guys. Have them ready.
Not a hint of hesitation.
We got them coming, baby. We got them coming. Stay off the air.
It's very sad here. Even with these guys in custody, it's just very sad because you can't.
But when Keith and I arrived at that corner, 63rd and Bell, it was his first time there. And for a man who talks for a living, what's going through your head?
It's just no words. I'm a man of words, and I have no words. It's just very breathtaking in a not so good way. She was great, and she did wonderful things for the community, and we're going to keep that going for her.
He's forever changed by the woman he never had the honor to meet.
Officer! Reason!
The one who managed to get this unflappable call taker choked up over the radio.
Shot in the head between the eyes. Both officers unresponsive in the hospital. You'll see. Keep the air clear.
I was crying in the middle of it. My partner was crying. But we as dispatchers have a job to do just like everyone else.
Keith did everything he could to help Officer French, and people heard. His deep passion to help people was born here, on the west side of Chicago, Austin to be exact.
My daycare was right down the block, and once we get off the CTA bus, we walk right past this fire station, and that's where it all started. I knew as a little child that they were the guys that help people, you know, and that's what I wanted to be a part of.
You wanted to be one of the people that helps people.
I wrote letters and letters and letters.
Well, we received a letter in the mail at the firehouse, and I opened it up, and it was this very well-written letter talking about how he loved the job that we did. He really wanted to know about the fire department.
Firefighter Lenny Spazzato, he called my parents and he made it happen where I came over for one day. But that one day turned into just a lifetime.
And the rest is history?
And the rest is history, yeah.
I eventually started going to calls with him, you know, whether it be medical calls, fires.
He made such an impression that 21 years later, now retired firefighter Lenny Spazzato recognized the voice over the radio that awful night.
When I heard the dispatch call, me and my brother were talking about it, and I said, that sounds like Keith. And it ended up being Keith, you know, just doing the job that he knew he was supposed to do.
Are you proud of him?
I am, very much so.
2 officers down, 2 officers down.
His 7th grade teacher recognized that voice too.
Tears. I had tears.
You had tears listening
to
his dispatch call.
Yeah. Both because it was sad and just I was so proud of him for holding it all together and just doing an amazing job.
His poise wasn't happenstance. Keith went from volunteer firefighter and EMT to officer with the Los Angeles Police Department. He knew exactly what he was doing that night on the radio because he'd been in those shoes before.
I heard one said they were going to go to Holy Cross Hospital, and once again, learning from these guys for many years of experience, I know the hospitals throughout the city. I know a lot, you know, medical-wise, and I said, don't go to Holy Cross.
Listen to me. Officers going to Holy Cross. That's not a trauma center. We got to get them to a trauma center, guys. Take them to USC. They're a trauma center.
And you're scared for your life. Everyone thinks police officers are these big, bad people. We're not. They're not.
But as a dispatcher, Keith never got a breather.
And I had to come right back the next day, talk on the air all over again, and do it again. And guess what happened? Another 10-1 came out. Another 10-1. I had 4 10-1s after that.
They answer the phone and they don't know what's going to be on the other end. They prepare other first responders to know what they're walking into. And
Jen McGowan-Tomke with the National Alliance on Mental Illness Chicago tells me right now 911 professionals are classified in the same category with secretaries and office clerks. Classifying them as a protective service occupation would mean more mental health services.
And we need to start supporting the people who we don't see, but they're getting you help when you need it.
Now Keith is campaigning to change that. He says he's also making it his goal to mend the strife that has led to the epidemic of violence in Chicago. In Ella's name.
Keith, you can hear us all right?
I can. Good morning to both of you. You look
What's
great.
up, buddy?
And he's got an important backer, one that knew Ella better than anyone else.
Hearing the call as a whole, it made it real.
Ella's brother, Andrew French.
You couldn't have done a better job, Keith. You really couldn't have. I'm so proud of you, my dude. I'm so proud of you. He's picking up right where Ella left off, and I have to stand behind it. I just don't know how not to.
Just like I'm your brother, man. You know, that's my Virgo sister, and I'm gonna do everything that I have to do. That family does.
A new family forged through a tragedy that shook Chicago.
If I could talk to Ella right now, I would tell her, don't you worry. Continue looking over us. The same way we entrusted you, the same way we need you to entrust us, that we're going to be down here doing the right thing.
Keith's bosses here at OEMC tell me they're incredibly proud of the actions taken by the 911 call takers and dispatchers as the scene unfolded, and they're planning to soon honor them for their professionalism and devotion on that night. We will, of course, be here. On the Near West Side, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.